Hey guys, so it's Harley, and my presentation is called Finishing the Puzzle. I'd like to start out with a quote. "It is never too late to expand the mind of a person on the autism spectrum," by Dr. Temple Grandin, and I would also just like to throw in there that it's never too late to change the mind of someone who isn't on the autistic spectrum. So my presentation is going to be about how vaccinations do not cause autism. Autism is caused by a genetic disease and is found in 1 in 68 children in America. Contrary to many beliefs, autism is not caused by vaccinations that children receive when they are around 3 years old. So, childhood vaccinations. The word vaccination means any preparation used as a preventative to confer immunity against a specific disease, usually employing an innocuous form of the disease agent, as killed or weakened bacteria or viruses to stimulate antibody production. So pretty much when you get a vaccination, they're just giving you a smaller dose of whatever you're being vaccinated against so that your immune system builds up something to fight it off. When we're infants, we begin receiving these around 2 to 3 years old. Pretty much we get vaccinations for the flu, measles, mumps, rubella, hepatitis A and B, smallpox, everything out there. And at the same time, we see symptoms of autism showing up around age 3. So these symptoms could include delayed speech, motor skills, and just really not meeting all the required milestones at that point in their lives. Okay, and we're going to talk about Dr. Andrew Wakefield. Some of his background: he was a British doctor. His father was a neurologist and mother a general practitioner. He studied at St. Mary's Hospital Medical School, then Royal College of Surgeons. He studied in gastroenterology, which is like studying like intestines and just how that works and stuff. And he was also a medical researcher, which got him into some trouble. He wrote this paper called the MMR Vaccination and Autism Research, and all of it was false. So pretty much what happened was he decided that he could link the MMR vaccination as the cause of autism. And the MMR vaccination is for mumps, measles, and rubella. It was him and 12 other doctors. They used 12 children, 8 of which had already shown signs of autism. So right then and there, his research was already distorted because he knew he was using children that had autism. After he published this paper, doctors were interested in his findings because they did seem real and they did seem like they made sense, but when other doctors started researching more into it, they found that all of his findings were wrong and like they really didn't make sense, mostly because what causes the MMR virus has really nothing to do with what causes autism, since autism is genetic and MMR is something that can be given to you outside of your body. And so after all of this was said and done, in December of 2001, he pretty much got his license taken away from him, and he was no longer allowed to pursue any more research papers and publish them. Autism's actual cause. Like I said earlier, the symptoms start around age 3, which is the same time kids do get vaccinations, but they have no correlation at all. It causes milestone delays. Some of these milestones are lack of speech, motor skills. They won't make eye contact, and they're very specific in the way they need to be taken care of, like in the way you hold them. sometimes with these kids, like, you can't touch them. So, like, if you go to brush hair out of their face when they're little, like, that will freak them out. Or if you try to hold their hand, they won't like that necessarily. While researchers aren't completely aware of what causes autism, they have narrowed it down to these things. It's a bioneurological developmental disability. So when their brain is developing, it's mostly in the frontal lobe that doesn't develop correctly. It impacts developmental areas of the brain, like I said. So with motor skills, it would be the left and the right brain. And it's caused by a genetic disease that can be passed down, or it can be caused by an extra or missing gene. So pretty much they've narrowed it down to a genetic disease and pretty much just the brain not developing correctly in that way. And like I said before, it's just important to keep in mind that just because a doctor puts out a research paper, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. And these kids with autism, many people see them as something that isn't necessarily useless, but like they're not the first choice. But many intelligent mathematicians and scientists and amazing artists have come from children who have autism. And so I think it's just important to give them that chance and to realize that if you give your child a vaccination, it's not going to cause them to have autism.